It is March 19th and we're starting our commission meeting. It's a wonderful day. Our first item this morning is approval of the consent agenda, which includes the commission meeting minutes of March 19th, Resolution 2503 Rose Creek Connector Trail Park easements, and Resolution 2504 Andrews Manor Park easements. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Oh,
Second.
sorry. Mr. Adams, can you call the roll, please?
Chair Harris.
Yeah, what should we start at? Motion on the form, or should we just go in?
We can let the motion serve as form and roll.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
So that was moved by Commissioner Giraldo and seconded by Commissioner Washington. I believe.
Yes.
Right. Roll
Correct.
and approval. Commissioner Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartley.
Aye.
Has Commissioner Hedrick joined us yet? Negative. Commissioner Pettowee.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Bailey.
I'm just getting on. I'm sorry. That's okay. Pass.
Passing, okay. That would be 6 passing, 1 abstention, and 1 absence. Motion passes.
Great. Next is approval of commission minutes. We have 2 this morning. Open session, February 19th, 2025, and special meeting open session, March 6th, 2025. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second, Commissioner Washington.
Moved by Commissioner Giraldo and seconded by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Bartley.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettowee.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Bailey.
But aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
7-0 to both minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is general announcements. Just a few this morning. This month is Women's History Month, and we're just experienced St. Patrick's Day. There's National Nutrition Month, the upcoming Stress Awareness Month, the upcoming Alcohol Awareness Month, and last but not least, our reminder that financial disclosure statements filing are due by April 30th. Next, we'll go to committee and board reports. For information only, there's the Employees Retirement System Board of Trustees regular meeting minutes from February 4th, 2025. For your to read, and if you have any questions, please contact those folks. And then the next is action and presentation items. We have the item 1 this morning, which is amendments to the administrative practice 1-31 organization and functions of the audit committee and office of the inspector general, where Ms. Harbin and Mr. Beckham will make a presentation this morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning. Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Tracy Harvin, the Corporate Policy and Management Operations Director. And we are before you today to obtain your approval for some relatively minor amendments to Administrative Practice 131. Again, this does address the organization and functions of the Audit Committee and the Office of the Inspector General. These are amendments that were prompted by the Inspector General, and there have been a lot of work with the Inspector General's office along with our General Counsel on these amendments. So I have with me today Michael Beckham, our Policy Manager, who will walk you through them, and afterwards we will take any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Michael Beckham for the record. This is on circle page 39 of your packet. It's also on the screen share. So a handful of amendments. The first is to reflect that the executive director is subject to the oversight of the chair and vice chair of the commission. And that changes on circle page 59. The second is to reflect that the executive director will publish reports of the auditor after consultation with the general counsel and inspector general. And then lastly, amendments are to clarify that the inspector general can provide independent responses to press and other third-party inquiries related to audits and investigations conducted by that office. And that in doing so, the IG should clarify that those responses are the inspector general's and do not represent concurrence by the commission. Those are the amendments we've asked for your approval on. And again, happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
I have a
Thank
question.
you.
Oh, sorry.
Please go ahead, Mr. Commissioner Bartley.
So is the Inspector General an employee of the Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning Commission, or are they an employee of the state government?
Hello, this is Renee Kenny, Inspector General for the record. Commissioner Bartley, I'll answer that. I am appointed. I am a commission employee. I do not follow the merit rules, but I am appointed by contract, similar to a department head.
Okay. And so are we seeking to give the Inspector General autonomy without the discretion and control of the commissioners?
No, that is not the intent. I believe the majority of the changes are dealing with the posting of officially issued audit reports and the process for posting. And it just adds a little more clarification. Most offices of the Inspector General that I'm aware of are responsible for determining what is allowable to be posted and what should not be posted. The commission by state statute has a few different, it has to be done by the executive director. And I think these are just slight modifications to the practice to make sure that I have at least a voice in determining what should or should not be posted, but it's still the responsibility of the executive director, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. With regards to communications, will the Inspector General be making statements public to the press or otherwise without those statements being vetted by the commissioners?
It's written, yes. It's an important tool in the toolbox of the Inspector General. Now, I've been here about 13 years and I've never spoken with the press. I have no desire to speak with the press, but it is an important tool that if to be able to address things if they need to be addressed. And the amended language makes sure that it is the opinion of the independent Inspector General and not the commission.
Well, I think I have an issue with that, and I don't know if this is the forum to discuss it, but I agree with certain autonomy, but with regards to coming to the press without commission oversight may be an issue with me. Thanks.
So maybe our general counsel can respond here, but I think Mr. Bartley that we are in contact with the OIG on all matters, right? And it's been to my year almost as the chair of the commission that if there are issues that come up, that the OIG will review them with the general counsel and the chair and vice chair. And I have always seen that Ms. Kinney has been very respectful of issues, and I believe that I'm supportive of being able to go to the press, but I feel that the way the system works now, there are many checks and balances in that process. I don't know if the general counsel would like to comment on that.
Yes, I'm not sure if my microphone is working. Can you hear me? Commissioner Bartley? Okay, wonderful. So yes, so we have been working with Renee and her staff on these changes for a number of months. we feel that it is very important to acknowledge and really nurture the independence of the OIG. They are a critical component of our compliance efforts, really, throughout the commission. So I want to make that perfectly clear. We really understand what the Inspector General was concerned about in terms of the posting, because it is a little unusual, but it comes out of the way that the statute is written. It specifically says that the commission must post.
That's you.
Yep.
Can we
Sorry.
fix the audio? Sorry about that. So it specifically puts the responsibility of posting the OIG's reports on the commission, which has then been determined to or have been delegated to the executive director. So that we can't change unless we change the law. But within that, we have developed a way of working with the OIG, the Office of General Counsel, and the executive director so that we meet and we go through every report, because we have to consider MPIA. We have to consider whether there is any sort of criminal investigation that may or may not occur. We have to consider whether there's personnel information that's in the report that we cannot release, or any other information that may be in the report dealing with, for instance, cybersecurity. So we all understand that we have responsibilities in all of these areas that we have to collaborate on, and we do so. So the idea that the OIG can make a statement on their own, that is, again, one of the checks and balances. You know, that is really a last resort. If all else fails and somehow there is a breakdown in the system, that there has to be an escape valve. And really, whether we put this in here or not, the OIG has that ability to make a statement. Now, you know, it would be extremely unusual, and it would be fraught with a lot of you know, potential liability for an OIG to make a statement without consulting legal, because of all the issues that I just talked about. And I think any OIG that we hire who is a competent professional would understand that. So, you know, all of these things sort of hold together because we work together very, very well. And we have the checks and balances in place that are designed to deal with the situation when we're not working well. But we don't anticipate that happening. It's just, we have to try to you know, to make sure that, you know, if the worst case scenario happens, there is an escape valve. There is a, you know, something that an OIG can do to say, hey, this has to be looked at, and they're not listening to me, even though that's not likely to happen. So hopefully I've answered that question for you.
Can I add something here also? I'm a member of the audit committee, and I fully support this move. And I think I asked a sort of similar question yesterday in our meeting, and Deborah answered it to my satisfaction. I think it is needed to be done. IG needs to be completely independent. And the way that they're working with legal, I fully support this action. This is the right thing to do.
So thank you, Ms. Borden, for that explanation, and thank you, Mr. Bartley, for even asking the question. So that's a great question asked. So are there any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing or seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the amendments to Administrative Practice 1-31, Organization and Function of the Audit Committee and Office of the Inspector General? So move.
A second.
Moved by Commissioner Geraldo, second by Commissioner Pedowin. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris,
Aye.
Commissioner Barton,
Aye.
Commissioner Hedrick, are you on yet? There you go. Commissioner Pedowin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro. Aye. Commissioner Bailey. That was a
She-
motion for
She's
aye.
muted.
But
Yeah.
I,
Thank you. Commissioner Geraldo?
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington?
Aye.
7-0. Thank you.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation, for updating our policies. The next is officers' reports. We have two this morning for information only. MFD quarterly purchasing statistics and the quarterly budget transfers report. For your information only. Any questions or comments you have on those? From here, seeing or hearing none, we'll go to our next item, which is the Secretary Treasurer's report. This morning, there's the report on the annual comprehensive financial report for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Cohen, Mr. And Rodman are here to make that presentation.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Harris, members of the commission. Nice to see you this morning. Gavin Cohen, Secretary Treasurer. Just want to start off by thanking all of my accounting staff for all the work they do in preparing the financial statements and in working with the auditors. So I just want to show some appreciation for the work that they do. This morning, you're going to see two brief presentations. The first is going to be from Chris Lehman. He's the engagement partner representing SPC, and he's going to be reporting to you on the audit. And following that, you're going to hear from the Director of Accounting, Abby Rodman. We'll have a brief presentation on the 24 financial results. So, Chair Harris, if the commission's ready, I believe Chris Lehman is online.
Well, thank you, Gavin, and good morning, commissioners. I have a brief presentation that I'll walk through here. Let me share my screen here. Can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Okay. And as Gavin mentioned, I'm Chris Lehman. I was the audit partner, again, for this year's financial statement audit for the commission. The scope of services that we were engaged to perform was the June 30, 2024 audit of the financial statements. In addition, we also review the what's termed the ACFR, or the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, which includes the financial statements plus additional introductory and statistical information. We've issued what's termed an unmodified opinion. That's a clean opinion, and that would be the best opinion we could give under professional standards. We did not discover any instances of fraud. Our financial statement audit is not a fraud-specific audit. It's not a forensic audit, but we are required to have skepticism that fraud could happen at any time. We noted no material weaknesses in the internal controls. We did note one deficiency last year that related to the capitalization of construction in progress. Management's working through an implementation process for that deficiency. We noted significant improvement that occurred during the 2024 audit. We also received full cooperation of management, and we noted no journal entries as a part of the audit process. This slide here just goes through our audit approach. I'm not going to go through each phase of the audit, but the audit's really designed to be a funnel through each process that we filter out risk through the audit process. A significant part of the process is the assessment of the design and the operation of internal controls. And in doing that, we also consider the overall control environment here with 5 interrelated components that make up the overall environment, being the risk assessment process, information communication, specific control activities, and then the commission's and management's monitoring of those controls. And we've concluded that there was an effective environment for the period under audit. Furthermore, going into the specific key controls, you'll see those listed to the left here. What we're doing with each one of these processes is we understand the process, we consider what could go wrong in the process, and then understand what management does to have a control activity in place that mitigates the what can go wrong. And then lastly, we would do some combination of control and substantive testing to determine if the control objectives are being met. And you can see in each one of these areas, we've concluded that there was an effective, our analysis was that these areas were operating effectively for the period under audit, as well as looking at payroll, revenue, and information technology. Those areas were also designed and operating effectively. I still had fixed assets in yellow, which is a carryover from prior year, related to the completion or closeout of construction in progress. And just as a refresher, I have the recommendation that we had here. And we did notice during the year that management had made significant improvement in closing out capital projects. The last few slides here, some of these I touched on at the introductory, but really this would be my opportunity if we had any issues getting through the audit. As I mentioned, we had no audit adjustments, so that just speaks to the quality of the numbers and the general ledger that management maintains. We had, again, identified no instances of fraud, no material weaknesses. We had no disagreements with management on any accounting matters. We had no significant difficulties getting through the audit. And then lastly, we go through a process to ensure our staff, our engagement team, as well as our firm is independent of the commission. And we also monitor the services that we provide to ensure that we don't provide any services that could potentially or actually impair our independence. And then lastly, I just have my contact information here, as well as our advisory partner on the engagement. That way, if there are questions outside of the one time you get to see me per year, we do have our information there. We make ourselves available to answer questions. We also work with management kind of in the off season on any questions they have, especially as it relates to the implementation of any new accounting pronouncements. So that's all I had to present. So with that, I'll open it up if there's any comments or questions.
Thank you, Mr. Layden, for your presentation. We appreciate your hard work to making sure that we have a great accounting system. And congratulations, Mr. Cohen, for getting this clean audit. No material deficiencies, no shown anywhere for fraud, and then also for significant improvement over last year on the closing out the capital project. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Chair Harris, and commissioners already. Ms. Director of Accounting, Abby Rodman, is now going to do a short presentation on the actual results from fiscal year 24. And thank you for your comments, Chair Harris.
Vice Chair, do you need comments?
Good morning.
No comments.
Let me share my screen. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my screen. How's my computer? Okay. I apologize. I'm having problems getting my
While we're waiting, Mr. Cohen, would you like to introduce a new member of your team for the commissioners?
Oh, with pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. We just hired Jason Lawrence as the new Deputy Director in Finance. Jason comes to us most recently from WMATA. Has a lot of experience in municipal government, particularly within the state of Florida. And so I'd like to extend the warmest welcome to him from the commissioners. Jason, if you want to just stand up for a second so everybody can see you.
I don't know. Can,
If
if you come up to the table.
if you wouldn't mind going to the dais. Thank you.
All the way up.
Oh, all the way.
All the way, all the way, all the way up. Turn around.
And turn it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Turn that way.
Can everyone see Jason?
Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome, Jason.
Can anyone point me? I have my presentation up, but I'm just having trouble.
Abby, is it of the report itself, or do you have a specific presentation?
I
'Cause
have the
a link.
PowerPoint. I have the PowerPoint
PowerPoint.
presentation up. It's just not, for some reason, it's when I share.
It's not sharing, correct?
Is it the same one you had in the package?
Yeah, it's in the
Yes.
packet.
Tim, can you pull it up?
It's in the packet starting on circle 104, I believe.
Why?
104.
104.
Thank you.
106 there.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. For the record, Abby Rodman, Corporate Accounting Director in the Department of Finance. I'm pleased to present the highlights of our annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2024. The land use article requires the Commission to publish an annual financial report that is audited by an independent certified public accountant, as well as a report that sets forth the work of the Commission for the year. And this annual comprehensive financial report fulfills those requirements in one document. This page shows that, as our auditor stated, we received a clean opinion for 2024, and there was no single audit required. Next slide. The Commission ended the fiscal year in a strong financial position. This chart shows the Commission's government-wide change in the ending net position of approximately $1.5 billion, which is an increase of $117.4 million from the prior year. This is attributable mainly to an overall increase in revenue from all revenue sources and conservative spending across Commission departments and programs. The governmental activity column includes the park, recreation, and planning activities, and the business type activities are our enterprise funds, which includes the Wheaton headquarters. Okay, the next slide. This next slide, the next slides will be a breakout of the Commission's tax-supported operations or governmental activities by their respective funds. These funds are comprised of 5 separate accounts, each with their own separate tax rate. And on this slide, you're going to see the Montgomery County Administration Fund. The actual change in fund balance was $4.3 million. Total fund balance is $7.4 million. And the unassigned portion of the fund balance is $3.6 million, which is available to balance future budgets. The next slide is the Montgomery County Park Fund. And after transfers, the actual change in fund balance is approximately $8 million. Total fund balance, $15.8 million. And the unassigned fund balance is $3.9 million, which is available to balance future budgets. And we go to the next slide. We have the Prince George's County Administration Fund. After transfers, their actual change in fund balance is $20.4 million. Total fund balance is $74.3 million. The unassigned balance of the fund balance is $42.6 million, which is available to balance future budgets. For the Prince George's County Park Fund, after transfers, the actual change in fund balance was $27 million, approximately. The total fund balance is $105.2 million, and the unassigned fund balance is $79.3 million, available to balance future budgets. All right, the last tax supported slide is the Prince George's County Recreation Fund. And after transfers, the actual change in fund balance is 9.5 million. Total fund balance is 70.4 million. And the unassigned fund balance is 42.6 million, which is available to balance future budgets. Okay, and then this slide is our enterprise funds, and these are activities that are predominantly self-supported through user fees. The activities use full accrual accounting and are reported similar to commercial accounting, which is used to reflect whether there's a return of the full cost of the facility or program. So yeah, as you can see, the Wheaton headquarters did have a negative or decrease in net position of 4.4 million, as you can see, due to depreciation. The Montgomery County Enterprise Fund had an increase in that position of just over 3.1 million. And then the Prince George's County Enterprise Fund had an increase in that position of just over 2.1 million. Overall, the net position of those enterprise funds increased in FY24, and each fund has sufficient net position to be appropriately reserved. And also overall, the Commission's FY 2024 audit and financial results reflect healthy financial results on both a fund and entity-wide level. And the Commission continues to report healthy fund balances and full compliance of the Commission's fund balance policy. And that concludes my report. Have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Robin. I just have one question. If you add all those fund balances together, they don't come up to 1.5 billion. Is less. Is the rest of that money for pension funds? What is the other money?
What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference?
All right. And I'm not sure if Gavin wanted to answer that. But it is, we pretty much operate on a budget basis. That's why we show all of the different funds, like the Montgomery Admin Fund and the Park Fund. So we operate with those funds. But the first slide I had on page 4 of the overall Commission's net position of 1.5 billion includes our OPEB and pension and depreciation costs. So it's more of an entity-wide position versus our operating funds.
Right,
More comprehensive.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments?
Good job.
Yeah. Commissioner Doral say good job. It's great to be in a positive financial position. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Thank you for those reports. The next item here is General Counsel. There's a litigation report for information only. Hoping that the commissioners went through it. And then the last is a legislative update for General Counsel Borden will provide that this morning. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Deborah Borden, General Counsel for the record. We don't really have a presentation for you today, just to say that crossover did happen, and we're in good position on the bills that we have been monitoring. And we'll have one bill for you at the board meetings tomorrow. And it's actually a study or a task force bill that doesn't involve us, but it does have an impact on affordable housing. So we'd like to present that to you. But it does look like we're winding down, barring any unforeseen surprises. We still don't know what's exactly happening with the solar bill, and we still don't quite know how the housing for jobs bill is going to shake out, but we're following that very closely, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we have them.
Thank you so much for those updates. And if there's nothing else we need to talk about in open session, any comments or anything you'd like to? Vice Chair. So we're going to go into closed session pursuant to Maryland General Provision Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, Section 3-305B9. A closed session is proposed to conduct collective bargaining negotiations or consider matters that relate to the negotiations. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
So move.
Second,
I'll second.
I'll defer to Commissioner Hydrack.
Okay, moved by.
Who got there first?
Geraldo, second by Commissioner Hendrick. We have a roll call, please.
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Bailey. Bartley,
Vote
sorry.
aye. Oh,
Commissioner Bartley.
Aye.
Commissioner Hedrick.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Aye.
Commissioner Bailey.
vote aye again.
You. Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
8-0, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. We will
Thank
go
you.
into closed session and then we'll come back in the open session to close out our commission meeting. Thank you. Good morning again, everyone. We're back into open session. During closed session, we discuss collective bargaining negotiations or matters that relate to the negotiations. And now we're ending our commission meeting for today. Oh, we passed, I'm sorry. We also passed minutes of former closed sessions in the minutes of January 22nd, February 19th, March 6th. Do I have a motion to close our meeting?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Moved by Mr.
Snack,
Calder,
second,
second by
Commissioner Washington.
Yes, Washington. We have a roll call to end our meeting.
Chair Harris,
Aye.
Commissioner Bartley,
Aye.
Commissioner Header,
Aye.
Commissioner Pedowitz,
Hi.
Vice Chair Shapiro,
Good eye.
Commissioner Bailey,
But I,
Commissioner Geraldo,
How about that?
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
8-0, meeting is closed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you to the commissioners for attending the meeting today and all of those that listened in. We'll see you in a month. Thank you.
Have a good one.